Alright, final fight. Let's see how we can do this time. Yeah, so we are going to once again be trying to go for a 1 credit or 1 life run with and we will be doing this with Cody again. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the old video up because the audio is out of sync. That was a little bit disappointing, but maybe we even get a 1 life run, or at least yeah, I mean, we'll see, or a 2 life run. So I'll just go through the rest of this stage. There's really not much to say here, just a few enemies come out of the doors. 2P. Alrighty. In general, if you want to beat this game on 1 credit, then you want to be not scrolling as many enemies on screen at once. Level 1 you definitely can, because other than this Elgato here, none of the enemies are particularly threatening. You know, I will say, maybe I'll just add more generic commentary this time, but like, it's funny, almost every beat 'em up game has like a slum level as level 1. I suspect that comes from Double Dragon originally, because I know Double Dragon, probably one of the most famous examples of like beat 'em up conventions getting their first start. There technically did exist beat 'em up games before Double Dragon. I'm not even sure if Double Dragon was the first parallax scrolling Double Dragon. And parallax scrolling means like you can move up and down, kind of giving like a pseudo 3D type effect. It was definitely, I think, the most up to that point, the most famous and probably best, definitely best parallax scrolling beat 'em up. You know, funny question actually is I wonder when Ninja Gaiden, the arcade game, actually came out, because I think that was a fairly early one, and that did actually seem to have some parallax scrolling. It's kind of funny though, because the Ninja Gaiden game seemed to have been designed primarily as like a left to right kind of beat 'em up, like Bad Dudes in a way, but it did seem to have some parallax scrolling. So you know, I could do this technique called shifting, and I can show it right here. That's shifting basically. I could have used that to just take out this boss without him having summoning any extra minions, but I thought I'd just show the minions. I think last playthrough I didn't really use shifting much. I'm going to use it a little more. Honestly, you can do shifting no problem, even without Autofire. It's just kind of puts a lot of stress on your fingers. Yeah, and sometimes you get punished for trying to be clever with your shifting. Yeah. Alrighty. I don't think I need the knife anymore now that I... Alrighty. You can actually throw right after you kill them with the knee. You can throw nothing. Yeah, I'll use shifting a little more. Again, shifting is like basically you just, when you do the gut punch, you just turn back around and do 2 more punches. I tried shifting there, but the alrighty. Yeah, actually shifting, it's easier for Cody to shift than other playable characters, so that's another reason why Cody's one of the probably the best playable character you can choose from. I wouldn't overdo it with the shifting though, because like for example the gut punch and the uppercut have have slightly better range. And so that can help definitely when you're up against like the Elgatos. This knife just does such insane damage. Such amazing range, such amazing damage. This is the #1 reason why Cody is the best playable character in the game. Very, very solid. The best item by far that only Cody can use like that. The other characters will just throw it away when they use it. They throw it and get one use. Oh! Yeah, these 2Ps and Js, they're not too threatening, but they can sometimes just sucker punch you. Alright. These enemies over here, so their flames are not my problem. So we can use our shifting on the Elgato. Now, I think, yeah, we could use shifting on Sodom here, but actually, I think we could end up doing way better damage by just approaching from the bottom, getting on top, doing a punch attack, repeating, and then, yeah, because he runs into your combo. Okay, but if he does this, just try to position yourself as such right above him. And he will run into your combo again. Alright. Yeah, and then if you do that right, he may only hit you like once or twice. You should have plenty of health left. That is one really nice thing about picking Cody, is that by far you can deal with Sodom the easiest. Because Sodom just runs right into your combo, and you can grab one. Yeah, you can rock up and grab in the middle. Yeah, just hit one side of the car, go to the other, pick up the pipe, hit the bottom, then hit the top, then keep hitting. You could probably get 18 if you didn't miss the miss one of those hits. So. You know, in order of difficulty, actually, I think stage 2. I think definitely stage 5 is the hardest, or stage 6 is the hardest stage. Then stage 5 is the second hardest. But actually, I think the third hardest is stage 2. Actually, I think this is the fourth. Yeah, this is the fourth hardest. Then the next stage, stage 4, is the fifth hardest. And then of course, stage 1 is the easiest. It's funny, like the difficulty. But I generally like the way the. I mean, like, the difficulty curve isn't perfect, but I do like the way stage 4 and stage 5, I think, have a pretty good difficulty curve to them. Now, it's a little bit disappointing that I took some damage from this Endori that way. But we do have health coming up, so we should be fine. As you can see, throws do way more damage to Endori than regular attacks. I guess the sheer force of his body hitting the ground is, like, your fist can't compare to just his massive body colliding with the pavement. I guess it kind of makes sense. Maybe that's why all the bosses take more damage from throws. Okay, I'm going to throw the Endori to the right this time instead of going after the Georber. Alright, yeah, using the power of shifting, that wasn't too difficult. Now, an Endora is going to come and sneak up from behind us and take us to a cage match. Alright, so we throw. We're going to grab the knife. And then we pummel from about this distance. Okay, you know, it's okay. You know what? If we stand about this distance, we're fine. We just want to like start punching when they walk a little bit. Lately I've been having a little more difficulty with Cody for some reason, when in reality he should be the easiest. Just push him in the corner and use the knife or the sword, but if they charge you, you know what it is? I needed to lead off of a jump kick. That's what it was. Alright. Alright, so we will use our special attack here. Gotta get that health right away. There we go. I think I scrolled them off the screen. Wasn't my intention, but you know, I'll take it. Alrighty. One reason not to overuse shifting is that, yeah, and here you go all the way to the right again. Look for that second painter guy with the green shirt, and then bam. If you do it like this, once again, Eddie E does not summon any minions, and as long as you punch from on top, then you should be fine. You can grab this gum here, get some extra health. Kind of gross if you think about it, but... I want to practice shifting a little bit more because it actually is probably... I think it's a little bit overrated, but the times where you need it, then you really need it. And I think it is the key to beating the game on one life. And I do want to be Palm, if you know what I mean. If you beat the game on with you only losing one life, then you get a screen that says I am Palm. It's like a reward. So it would be nice to be Palm. Alrighty. Enemies just taking fire damage left and right. Alrighty. Yep, so not much to say there. Like, oh yeah, like I said in the Hagar video, definitely you want to jump over the first two flames, and then don't move at all, up or down. And then you won't take any damage from any of those other flames. Alright, so let's see if the... Yeah. Depending on their angle of charging and how fast they're charging, you may or may not need to use your special attack. Yeah, Endoras just have so much health. That one's programmed to be so aggressive. Okay, just dump the Elgatos and Hollywoods to the right of the screen. Yeah, pick up the knife. Now, one thing to note, actually, that I forgot to mention in my previous video, is that if there are 5 knives on the screen, then the Elgatos and Hollywoods can't pull another one, and that's actually critical, because if they have too many knives, I mean, like, if there's no knives, then they can't do their knife jump attack or their stab. That means that basically you're safe from all their attacks, because you can hit them with your knife out of their slide. You can't. Sometimes you can't use your knife to counter their knife throw attack. Oh man. Because that's the thing. The two most dangerous attacks the Elgatos and Hollywoods can do is throw a knife and do their knife jumping stab attack. Both of those they cannot do if there are 5 knives on the screen, or actually 6. You know, 5 plus 1 if you have it. Yeah, generally the sword is not where you want to be unless you're facing a boss. Now here, wait to see if when he charges you, he's blue. Okay, he's not blue, so we can hit him with the katana. If he's blue, we have to do a special attack, because then he can walk right to the sword. So, that's the trick here, and if he does a jump attack, we move out of the way and grab. Yep. Okay. Actually, we want him to do jump attacks as much as possible, including this one's even the best, because you can see it coming from a million miles away. So you can do massive damage with the throw. What we don't like him doing is if he constantly charges us with that blue invincibility. That's when he makes the hardest times you face Rolento is when he just feels like doing that for no apparent reason. Now, if you still have the sword, okay, and sometimes you can grab him like that, but it seems a little random whether or not you can grab him or whether or not he just escapes, you know, by running around. Okay. So you want to hit these dead center as such. Okay, that's good. Oh, okay. Okay, not dead center that time. 12? Yes! 12 I think is about as good as I've done. It doesn't necessarily matter that much if you don't hit one of those things dead center, because you have to kind of do another jump kick anyway, because you don't actually get enough forward momentum to take them all out. At least I can't get it. Maybe the TAS can. Alright. So, I just like kind of dumping all the enemies, or just kind of throwing them left and right. Just tossing them around, having a good time. I love this level. This level is... maybe it's just the music. I love the music. I'm probably being a little more reckless than I need to be, but in the last stage you really have to be a lot more careful because there's very little life, but there still is. See, the thing about this stage is they throw lots of enemies at you, but they also throw lots of health at you, which I think is very fair. I like lots of enemies, lots of health. Stage 6, the last stage, they throw lots of enemies, but not a lot of health. That's kind of unfair. But anyway. Yeah. Alrighty. I could get the sword, but I just don't think that that's necessary. Alright, so there's going to be a bunch of G-Orbers and other fat enemies going from right to left, or left to right. And you basically want to be doing this jump attack to catch them, and then you can throw them. Plus you can cancel into the main jump attack if they're going unusually slow. Now another wave will come right after this, same order, so just be prepared. Alright. Alrighty. So pretty good stuff, pretty good stuff. Yeah, those enemies can be a little bit challenging if you're not ready for them, but when you are, you can do that jump attack, and it's really not that bad. Alright, so go up here as such. The other one will either hit the barrel or just stop because it's at a bad angle. Ah, I should have thrown the other one at the other end, don't worry. There's plenty of health coming up, so don't worry. Normally there's supposed to be health in that barrel, actually. There's our health. Alright, so we just do a special attack here when barrels come from the right. Bam. We want to scroll these all the way to the left so that after we're done with the enemies. So yeah, that was a little bit because I was kind of expecting the other enemy to walk into me. I know that kind of looked bad, but I'll be fine. Again, this level is still very fair in how much life it gives you. Plus, unlike Hagar, the enemies can't really escape your throw combo with Cody. So you don't take as many cheap shots from the Roxy's and Poisons. Plus, the knife is very good against them. It's superior range. And it's good against the Elgatos. You want to kind of force the Elgato to move up and down. That way you can't like get into a good angle where it can just stab you. Right. See, the knife helps here when we accidentally scroll a poison onto the screen. So the range is just good enough, and it's fast enough that alrighty. Yeah, you can grab them pretty close to the screen. Close to the end of the screen, I mean. Yeah, just have the Elgato come at you at an angle. That way it's less likely to do like a charging attack or something. Or like a slide, or whatever you call it. Alrighty. Alright. Didn't want to pick up the sword, so. Yep, just, for some reason, only 4 enemies come at you at a time here. This level seems to like that kind of wave of 4, like with the fat enemies. Again, very unusually fair, but I mean, there is so many enemies, and the boss is very tough, but again, I think very fair, because there is a very clear strategy to beat him. Not gonna lie though, if you don't know about this strategy, this boss can be pretty tough, but there's a strategy that can really lead to fairly consistently beating him with 1 life, but it's still challenging enough, you know. All right. Alright. Oh! So sometimes when they do that... Ooh! Don't want to die to these, basic enemies. That would suck. Alright. Alright. Practice my shifting. I generally just prefer to hit stun and then do the knee. Triple knee. Oh! Good thing I just happened to... Man, 2P and his sucker punch. Ah, sometimes like the fire can slip between your punches. Alright, so use this one. You have to do it like that. If you just hit it at the end of the screen without scrolling the barrel all the way to the right, then you won't be able to use it. Okay, I am going to pick this up. I have to. Thankfully, I think they dropped all their knives, so it becomes significantly easier, as you can see, because they can't throw a knife and they can't do a jump stab attack, meaning that we're pretty safe. Well, we threw away that knife, but yeah, meaning we're pretty safe if we just stab with the knife. Alrighty. Plenty of health. See how fair the stage is? That is a brutal rush of enemies, those Elgatos, but they do give you plenty of health after you've withered the storm. Alrighty. Just extra points. Okay, we get 2 swords actually. That's pretty rare. Normally we have to kind of shift with the knife. Normally I don't like using the sword, but the sword is going to be critical for dealing with the boss. Yeah, see, sometimes they can kind of slip between your sword attacks. So you have to... There's a little bit of finesse in positioning yourself just right with the sword. What sucks is when these Hollywoods and slashes, or these slashes and axles, position themselves. Alright, so we grab when he runs at us, and then we just... Oh! Yeah. Error on the side of not slashing immediately. You will more often than not get screwed by slashing too early against Abigail. Wait until you see the whites in their eyes, so to speak. Oh! See, I almost slashed too early. Yeah. If you're patient, sometimes it can be good to preemptively kind of slash because if he happens to run, then you hit him, and if he does the turn red, you have enough time again to recharge and hit him again. So yeah, that's how you beat Abigail. You gotta take your distance, use the sword, and otherwise it's pretty brutal. Just don't scroll too many enemies here on the screen. Alright. Yeah, but that stage, I love it. This stage, not as much. I think I'm going to use shifting a lot in this stage, because if we're actually going to beat this on a 1-life run, we need to take very little damage. Meaning we can't afford to get sucker punched almost at all. Should be able to beat this on 1 credit though. As long as I get to the last stage with without losing a life, I feel like my chances of beating this game on 1 credit are pretty good. I feel like I got a decent chance. Just don't want to take unnecessary damage from the chandelier falling. Okay, so now the Andori is going to come from the left. We want to throw him to the right. Now we want to throw him to the left. Now we want to shift. Okay, but we got to shift a little bit better. It's a little bit tricky actually to shift. So I might not shift because sometimes the gut punch can be but then sometimes get sucker charged as such. Yeah, I mean, I think this is acceptable. This amount of life loss, like, if we would have shifted successfully, we wouldn't have taken any damage. That's the only problem with shifting, is that sometimes you get kind of locked in and complete the combo when you mean to turn right. In that way, it might actually be slightly easier to shift without Autofire, because it doesn't lock you in the same way. Anyway, like I said, I think that's acceptable to take that one charge. Alright. So now I want to do a jump attack. Now we shift. So we don't want to take any damage from their charging. Now we don't actually shift here, we instead move them to the right. Oh my goodness. That actually is not ideal at all. Okay, now we shift. Well, we shift when they get closer. Oh my goodness. So hopefully it's kind of tricky to shift, but if we can shift, okay. Okay, see, that's one thing Hagar doesn't quite have the ability to do. I did not mean to. I was trying to shift actually. That's another. Oof. You know what? I may not shift actually. I've got a little nervous energy going on here, and because I really can not lose a life here, which is very critical. It increases the chance that I get sucker punched by one of these guys. But on the other hand, I'm clearly kind of dropping the input, so to speak, for the shifting. So I adjudge that I'm more likely to run into trouble with shifting at least until I get the health. When I get the health, I think I'm gonna feel a little bit more calm, so I can do the left-right inputs a little bit easier. Just have to avoid these dumb Molotov cocktails. Alright. Now, there's two ways you can do this. You can throw these guys, you can continue throwing them left and right. Oh, I almost hit it. See, this is the only problem, is that sometimes they kind of walk right past you. I do think it's a good idea, though, to try to just keep them on one side. They do have a tendency to kind of sucker punch you, because they can actually walk surprisingly fast for the big, hulks they are. Yeah, but they don't have any ranged attack or anything that can really surprise you. The only thing they can really do is try to walk around you. It's the only thing that's really problematic. When it's down to one, we can just throw them. I can probably throw them actually now. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Health. Now, here's the thing. We walk up to this and we do the special attack. Because as you can see, the barrels come from the left. That is kind of something cheap that you kind of have to be prepared for. If you're not used to this, you can take... Man, let me tell you, there are a few things as frustrating as losing a life right there after you've gone all the way. Alright, so actually I feel good about this. Definitely I'm getting a 1 credit run here. Alright. These Elgatos seem to be unusually aggressive. And pulling out knives left and right. Alright. Okay. Yeah, just gotta be a little careful because I still can actually get past this section without losing a life. I just have to be very careful, and there's gonna be some fat enemies charging me. I gotta do a special attack. Throw them to the right. And gotta shift. I don't have to shift, but that just decreases the chance that they can hit me with some kind of cheap thing. And there is health in here, so we definitely do not want to scroll that off the screen. Sometimes there's health there too, so... Okay, so I think we're in a pretty good shape. Alright. Oh! My punch just didn't come out somehow. Okay, I think I'm gonna shift on these guys. Oh. I have to grab this just in case. Yeah, I'm gonna shift because I can't afford to take some more cheap damage here. Alrighty. So there's going to be some Elgatos coming. Now there would be barrels here in the Japanese version. They would actually contain some health, but anyway. Alright. Okay, I think if I don't lose any more life than this, I think that's kind of acceptable. These guys are prone to do their charge attack. Okay, I think... Well, I don't know. Ideally, we want to lose no life there, but this is kind of an acceptable amount of life, I think, to lose. And some Elgatos are going to come down. Hopefully they drop a knife. Okay, and this is where shifting comes in handy. We do not want to take unnecessary cheap damage from these guys. Alrighty. 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 Okay. So, enemy rush here on the end of the screen. Basically, the idea is we, oh my goodness, that was a little uncalled for. Oh! Oh! Knives might help. Ooh, and the sudden slide. Oh man. Well, maybe we can beat this with only losing one life. I don't know. We were close to a one life run. Close. Close, close, close. Knife helps. Sometimes you get health from those barrels. That can be very critical. The knife just unfortunately makes things trickier for these Elgatos in Hollywood, so we gotta throw it away. It's because there'll be plenty of knives when we do the final boss rush. We have to just throw them left and right. There's just no other way. And I think we, as long as we don't take some dumb charge damage, I think we Okay, I think we got it. And see, we were actually really, really, really close to a 1 life run. Oh my goodness. That would suck if I died right there. Alright. Alright. Well, I think we did this on a 2 life run. Hey, that's gotta count for something. Alrighty. Yeah, you just combo him when he jumps. Yeah, and now you just do jump attacks. Yeah, and sometimes you want to hit him with the back part of your jump attack. Oh, all right, 2 life run, 2 life run. Not bad. Getting better. I see what I mean. You can get a 1 life run. It is possible. That last part, gotta throw them left and right. Yeah. Yeah, if I didn't take that massive damage from that Roxy kick or poison kick, it's possible. But man, the problem is it's just so brutal because that last stretch. You know, not gonna lie, I think you kind of have to get lucky and get some extra life in those last barrels, in order to really the most consistent way to get a one life run is probably if you happen to get health from those last barrels in the outside area. I wonder if there's some way you can manipulate RNG so to make that happen more often, because it's just extremely difficult. You almost have to get to that last part where all the enemies rush you with basically full health in order to not take a life loss. It's just, as you can see, they just pummel you. And also, we got a little lucky with the damage too, because sometimes those like kicks from the fat enemies can deal like half health, you know. And thankfully, they only took like maybe 20%, maybe 15%. That's about the lowest I think they can possibly do, because we took a few of those kicks, you know. Still, a 2 life run, I'll take it. I don't think I'm gonna get the I am palm screen, because I mean, for what it's worth, we beat the game with without losing the default lives. We got 1 extra life from a 1-up credit. I'm not gonna get the screen. Nope. Man, it's so they really make you work for that victory screen. We'll get it one day. We'll get it. All right. Well. So basically, the story here, what we were doing is we're basically the gym buddies to the mayor, who was a former pro wrestler, and his daughter got kidnapped by the largest street gang basically, and in essentially like a fictional New York City place called Metro City, and you know, like you would think. So basically, Hagar decides, instead of paying their bribe, to just use his bare fists and then just beat up every single bad guy in the city. And I guess he knows who's a bad guy, because when he walks onto the street, people just randomly start attacking him. So I guess that's how he knows. Yeah. You know, of course, in real life, his daughter would probably get killed if he did this. But well, that doesn't make for an interesting game. So thankfully, the bad guys are kind of James Bond-esque and give him the opportunity to smash their face in, and that is a very good thing for this game, because smashing enemies' face in has never been so satisfying as in Final Fight. Anyway, yeah, so 80s action at its best. Final Fight, gotta love it. 2 life run with Cody. We'll get there one of these days. 1 life run. 1 life run. It's we're getting there. All right. Anyway, and hopefully the audio is better this time. Hopefully there's no sync issue. All right. Cool stuff. Hope you all liked it. Maybe one of these days I'll try one of the other beat 'em ups on this Capcom beat 'em up bundle. I bought this mostly for Final Fight. Anyway, all right. Take care, everybody.